Well, I mentioned in the last video that I was going to take a break on the truck after I got the cab primed and doors back on it and everything. But I've decided I'm going to go ahead and finish the bodywork. So, got the fenders out. This left fender was probably the best one. I've already got a jump on it. I started welding up the molding holes and forgot to start the camera. But that area on this one is clean, no rust. This is common on these 67 to 72s. There's a piece of inner structure under here. And guess what? Crap gets caught in there and it rusts. Shitty design. So all I have to do on this one is finish grinding up these welded up holes. There was a small dent here, a buckle here from that yellow truck. I don't know if you remember it. It had taken a shot in the front, so it buckled the fender. I'm going to zap this up and do a little body work on this one, and it'll be good to go. This one won't take long. The other one, on the other hand, it's in there right now. It's shot all down in here. It's even got a little rust spot up above the curve, which is going to be a pain, but manageable. It doesn't have one of these. It's fine there. But it's also got, if I remember right, some buckles up in here, and it's got a split. The metal split. I can't remember if it's where it buckled here or buckled here on that right fender. But unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, whichever one you say, I may end up using this one. This is one I had bought from somebody. I just kind of ran into it, and the guy was like, what do you give for it? And I said, oh, it's a gem. I'll give you 20 bucks. I probably overpaid, but it may end up getting used. I'm not sure. At least it's not split. It's not buckled. It's got a little bit of straightening here, molding holes as usual, dent there, but it has that problem as well. But down there, all the rust, I believe, is below that body line. So I'll check them out when I get to the right side, and I'll figure out which one of these is best to use. That's where we're at. Moving on to fenders and hood. That's the hood. I don't know if y'all remember that. It has very little damage. It's got a dent on one side, or maybe both sides, but the hood, the main hood, is good. I'm welding up the holes for the Ford emblems, and it's got a big dent in the front right here. This one. That's going to be a fun one to pull. And man, I tell you what, these seams from the factory, they're horrible. I've mentioned this design before. Like, it doesn't line up. Like, this panel to this panel right here, it drops. And in some places, it's kind of bad. Like right here, there's like an 1/8 inch of a drop. But you know what it's getting? It's original, it's factory, it's getting some seam sealer. Try to smooth it out as best I can. I'm not going to reinvent this hood, that's for sure. So, I am going to zap up. There will be no moldings or trim on this truck. So, I'll zap up those holes. But the hood itself is just going to get stripped, body worked, and primed. All right, moving on. Let's get this done. So after much deliberation, I think, is that the right word? Much thought. How about that? Much thought into this. I've decided to go with this fender. It's got that spot right back here. Still got the molding holes. That one's got the molding holes, so it's going to be the same there. It has a problem up here, which I've cut out already. This one didn't have that problem yet, but you can see it really starting to bulge right here, so it's about to bust loose. So I would have had to fix that too. Anyway, this one has the split in it right here. That's about that long. Would have had to fix that. It was buckled here. It had a dent here. It's pretty ugly right here. And worst part was this rust had come up through this body line up here and up into here. So I would have had to cut this whole thing out down there. So even though that one had been blasted front and back and was really clean in that manner. Oh, this was kind of a deciding factor. I don't know if you can see this. It's sucked in right here real bad. Like I don't know how that happened. I don't know if that was from the buckle, if it just pushed it in. But because this is kind of a strong part of the fender with these bends in it, but you can see it right there. It's sunk in right there, so I would have had to beat that out and do some finish work up here. I just thought, yeah, this fender's a little crusty, but I'll clean it up and get ready to weld up the holes. It's got a couple of dings and stuff in it, but nothing big. There's a couple there that you can see, but nothing big. And now I see another one. Looks like the inner structure peeking through a little bit right there. You can see it. So, but as far as the rust, I'm going to patch in that piece. I'm going to neutralize all this crud because it's just surface, and it's not bad on the back. I mean, it's just crusty all the way around on the back. I'll put some, I don't know, some kind of neutralizer. I've got that rust mort stuff. I'll probably use some of that on the inside just to try to kill it a little bit. You never stop it. It is what it is. And I'm not buying aftermarket fenders. I refuse to do that because they will fit like socks on a rooster. So, not doing it. So I'm going to cut this chunk out tonight. Well, I've already cut that part out. I'm going to cut the new piece out of this leftover cab corner stuff. Try to get that tacked in tonight. Get these holes welded up. Get that guy welded up. Maybe just call it a night. But I'm going to go with this fender. I think I'm better off. I'll strip it down and take it down to metal and clean it all up as best as possible. So I forgot where I left off last on my last video. But here's the hood. It's all stripped down. Wow, what a job. I had used that rust mort on this hood multiple times. And that stuff makes, because it had just a layer of rust on it, basically, where the paint had baked off in a lot of it. And that stuff makes rust like petrified. So I just kept stripping and stripping and stripping. Oh, it took forever. So it's pretty good right now. I'd love to have it better, but I don't think I can get it any better unless I had it blasted. I had him blast the sides down here. And I think he did some of the underside that was bad in some spots. But I didn't have him do the center of the hood because I was afraid it would warp. So maybe I should have. Maybe we should have given it a try. But anyway, that was a bear. So you can see some of the dents. Some there, one there. Little out in the center right here. One of them got into this body line a little bit. Just some dings. Otherwise, except for that spot I showed you the other day, that one's probably gonna be tough to pull. And a couple other ones here, just miscellaneous. I'm gonna put the stud gun on it and pull out those spots, get that taken care of. This is the brown fender. Got it all stripped, got it taken care of, got that rust hole welded up back here. Once I got it all welded up, then I did, like I've showed you guys I do in the past, I just put a layer of fiberglass on it. I used the mesh this time instead of the fiber stuff, so it's thinner. It came out all right. I mean, it's got just little dings all over it, so there'll be plastic all over it, just this kind of stuff. A little ding here, a little ding here. You can see that little ding there. Got the molding holes. Just, you know, I welded up that spot, put some fiberglass over it too. So, got those. I'm ready to start putting some filler on. And this one, I can't remember how much I talked about this one. It's, the holes are welded up. That part is welded up. Wasn't any problems on the bottom, but there are some, it's a dent here, and then there was a buckle right there that I fixed. This was on that yellow truck, and it had taken a little shot in the front, so that fender was buckled right there, which was the reason I didn't use the other black fender, or one of the reasons, because it was buckled on both sides of the wheel opening and split. So good to know the furnace is working, the new furnace. So next time you see these, they'll probably have a little bit of gold filler on them in spots, and you're ready to prime. I'm hoping within the next day or two I can get some primer on these and make them look like that. That would be nice, and then I can get to hanging them on the front. Make this thing look like a truck. I don't know. Let's try that. Just a few spots on the hood. Isn't that what I said on the last one? Just a few spots. Jeez. That drags out, doesn't it? Before you know it, you got it skimmed all over the place because you start finding little dings and this and that. So, full disclosure, here we are. Hopefully that'll knock off. The only place I'm a little bit concerned about it was that rough spot right there. As far as, I mean, not concerned, but I might have to put another coat on. So, oh, I love the sound of that furnace kicking on. Well, not really, but at least it works. So here we are, on to the fenders. So, here it is, another day in the epic saga of the F100 / 200 / 300 day challenge. We might even be beyond 300. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the progress. Haven't had the camera on much lately, but it's not for lack of doing something, because as you'll be able to see, stuff is getting done. So the bodywork to the hood is done. Again, you know, we're not seeking perfection on this truck. We're seeking smooth. It is smooth. Left fender, and I'm getting ready to prime this stuff. This is why it's kind of sitting the way it is. I gotta blowing everything down. I need to wipe it all off real good, and then I'll be making them turn white with white epoxy. So this is the fender that was the brownish gold color. Dark brownish gold. Ugly. Turd-like. Anyway. Stripped it all down. Had that spot welded in down here. Then I put some glass over it. Then I smoothed it all. Just many dings and, you know, as you can see. And then, of course, the molding holes that got welded up. So, looking good there. This is the other original fender that I was using off the truck. The other one that was epoxy black was the one that I got rid of. I decided not to use. Didn't get rid of it, but you know what I mean. It's not going on this truck. So this is the one that took the place of that. And then this is the other original fender from the truck, which was good down here, but had, you know, other miscellaneous issues. So that buckle there, dent there, the molding holes again, a little bit of dent up here, welded up a rust hole up on the top where they all rust. So we're good to go. We're gonna put some primer on these things. Let's turn them satin white. Well, there we go. Liquid white sexiness. Oh, I love this stuff. So we have a hood and some fenders to get put on this thing. Man, we're going to make it look like a truck eventually, huh? Well, let's get to work. Oh, come look at this with me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I like that. I'd like to get a shot of it back a little ways, but just not possible right now. Got the hood on, got the fenders on. Oh my. Everything's filthy, dirty, nasty. But, man, I'm digging that. I want to get the bed put back on this thing just to get an overall look at it. But not going to have it for a bit. Got a few things going on, so stay tuned. We'll get the bed on it and get an overall shot.